Channel 10.
We used to be like CNN, Channel 10. And we used to think that people would catch on. But if you're not from Queens, if you don't got Time Warner or whatever, like, well, I didn't know that.
Do it, yo. Yo, word up, man. It's a different channel, son. Word up, on, man. Word up, watch the channel, son. Different plane now, man. It's all good. Word up, all good, baby, in every hood, son. Word up, yo.
CNN, Network, Channel 10. It's on again. Street niggas is grown men. Whoa face, get in your face. Stay in place, yo, crime lace. Cast more beef than Scarface. CNN, Network, Channel 10. It's on again. Street niggas that's grown men. Bold face, get in your face. Stay in place, yo, crime lace. Cast more.
Yo, we are back once again. This is the Channel 10 Podcast. It is I, Singodsuperior. The almighty AR is still on hiatus, and yet again for yet another episode. It's kind of sad that he's away because our guest for the day, this is someone that, you know, me and Arctic have been talking about bringing on pretty much since like the inception of this podcast and everything like that. He's a really dope artist. I've been listening to him since I was in high school and everything like that. He has a new dope album entitled Deutsch Marks. Out right now. He has an upcoming album coming out, or a project coming out with Bronze Nazareth, who is also, if you are a regular listener, someone that we tend to mention from time to time with our Wu-Tang conversations and whatnot. So I'm pleased to have Willie the Kid on the podcast today. Welcome to the show, Willie.
Hey, appreciate y'all, man. Yo, man. I wish AR was around, man. It'd be good to chop it up with him too if he's supporting the sound. That'd have been dope. You know what I mean? And chop it up with the brother. But yeah, man, and you know, I'm good to be here, man, for sure.
My co-host, love him to death. He, you know, we're cousins, but he goes ghost a lot of times, and so he just disappeared on me. So yeah.
Family though, that's family. We know we can rely on family that way. You know what I mean? And you know, we got to step away. We can step away, and family will hold it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. So yeah, let's just take it all the way back for the listeners real quick. So you are from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and I assume you're like around the general area of Madison and Dickinson.
Yeah. I stay in a couple hoods in Grand Rapids, but that's the hood that's the hood that, you know, a lot of work got put in around there, you know what I mean? So that's the hood, you know, Madison, that's the area, for sure.
And your father was a DJ, so you've had quite a bit of just a hip hop influence growing up.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, indeed.
Right. So, was your father, was he like a party DJ or like a disc jockey at a radio station?
You know, Grand Rapids, it wasn't official like that. It wasn't a lot of urban clubs. It wasn't that type of scene. You know what I mean? It wasn't like back then. There wasn't even an FM urban radio station in the city. You know what I'm saying? So it was AM radio. My father just happened to be one of the people who had a little bit of money and was able to invest into the music as a fan. So my dad had turntables, crates of records, the big ass concert speakers in the house. You know what I'm saying? He was able to invest in it. He had nice cars with nice systems. You know, he used to like take vinyl and burn from the vinyl to the cassette tapes. So you can play the vinyl in the car off the cassette tapes. You know what I'm saying? So he's like one of the people that always invested in his love of music. So he kind of was a DJ by default, because if somebody was having a party or a little cookout, he'd provide the music. Somebody was getting married, had a little wedding reception, he'd provide the music. If somebody in the neighborhood wanted to get the brand new Public Enemy album and wouldn't go to this record store and buy the record, but one, my dad would take it and burn it from the vinyl and put it on the cassette tape, and people come by the house and just buy the tapes off of him, like that. So he was a DJ in that sense, just by trade, by default, you know?
Word. And so, all right. So you had this influence with your father, and of course your brother, who is La the Darkman. And so did you start writing like when you were like in the first grade or something like that, around that time?
I've honestly been writing music as long as I can remember. May have been kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? I've been like, you know what I mean? I've been a fan of the music since I was little. I used to go to the playground and rap some music, Kid and Play, Fresh Prince, whatever, Cool G Rap, whatever, Run DMC, and say it was mine. You know what I mean? Like I was that kid. Because like a lot of my friends, like I said, they wasn't invested in the music the way I was. So by the time like we got a little bit older and you got like Tribe Called Quest, and you got Mobb Deep, and you got Nas, artists like that coming out. My friends still wasn't in it the way I was in it. So I remember one time I spit the whole Phife Dawg verse. Rest in peace, Phife Dawg, by the way, and rest in peace, Prodigy too, by the way, too.
Man,
I spit the whole Phife Dawg verse from Butter off the Low End Theory album. I spit the whole verse in my man crib. I told him it was mine. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like he was like, "Damn, you nice." You know what I'm saying? But I ended up telling him it wasn't mine. I had to play the song for him to put him on as a tribe. But that's how much I was invested in the music more so than my friends were. You know what I mean?
Right. And I recall you saying in an interview that you had like Midnight Marauders and your brother had 36 Chambers and y'all swapped, right?
Yeah. It's funny, man. I don't even remember saying that in the interview. You're funny, man. Yeah, that's a true story. My brother had this, he had this black Malibu, you know what I'm saying, all tinted out rims and all that. And Tribe Midnight Marauders and 36 Chambers came out at the same time. And I was banging the Tribe. But back when Super Nintendo was lit, right? You know, like, yo, I'm playing the video game, listening to him, telling my brother, yo, this it. But he already knew Tribe was live because he put me on to like the first Tribe album, Can I Kick It, and Footprints and all of that. But then he put me on to that, and that kind of sent me on the Tribe mission. Then Low End Theory, of course, that was banging, that was incredible. And then by the time Midnight Marauders came out, METHOD, Method Man was the livest. That was live, you know what I'm saying? And Grand Rapids around my friends, it was a lot of Tribe. People would listen to that, a lot of West Coast music, you know, Snoop and all that, and, you know, the Chronic and all that. But my brother was like, nah, Wu-Tang, I'm telling you, Wu-Tang, you know what I mean? So he had this tape, this Ron G tape, and it had METHOD, had that on there, and it had Mad Lion, Take It Easy, you know what I'm saying? So them two songs was playing back to back. Take It Easy, Mad Lion, and METHOD. And I'm like, yo, he said, yo, you gotta check out this Wu, man. I check out this Wu. We played METHOD that summer, and then I think 36 Chambers came out that fall, if I'm not mistaken, going into the wintertime. And yeah, he put me on to it, man. I was lit ever since.
Cool. And you know, another thing about you that's interesting is the fact that, you know, you're pretty much like an all-around artist. I recall you know, saying in other interviews that, you know, you've been going to art schools and everything like that. And you've always had an interest in like visual art, and you used to write, you know, movie scripts as a child, which is, I don't think a lot of regular people do that. So I'm curious to know, what kind of like movies were you writing way back when, as a kid?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't want to say things that people take my ideas and make a blockbuster smash off of it, but as a kid, I wrote two films. One I wrote, it was kind of crazy because I wrote it before this. I wrote a film about like if the South won the Civil War, you know what I'm saying? And I remember like years later, Cannabis said it in a rhyme. Shiva Wyclef, he said it in a rhyme. What had been the outcome if the South won? Think about that. Somebody like that's something I had really wrote a movie about before. You know what I mean? And I even revisited it maybe a few years ago. I was in my undergrad in college. I wanted to produce it, but use like modern technology and the way things are right now to show what that would be like. So like I mean, imagine a slave auction online on internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if Instagram existed when slavery was a thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if Facebook existed when there was segregation? Like stuff like that. Like, you think things are accelerated now, we're accelerating on reality TV and look at my food I'm eating and look at the car I bought. But imagine if the things that we were going through, like on the civil side of society, you know, race relations and whatnot, and laws and war, what if that type of thing that molded our country was presented on the platforms we have today? I mean, should it be it'd be our reality would probably be something completely different. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like that back as a kid, man. I wrote films about that. I wrote a film about that. And I wrote another film, and I produced it. I didn't get a chance to actually finish it, but I shot some of it. I wrote a film about, I took like Scarface and Othello, and I wrote like a hybrid script off of those two. You know what I'm saying? So it's about this guy and his friend, and the guy kind of goes off with this girl, and the girl ends up, his relationship with the girl ends up being the demise of what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So they had the Scarface thing between the two guys, but then the demise of the operation kind of lends itself to the Othello thing. You know what I'm saying? The black guy with the white girl and XYZ. So yeah, it was kind of ill. I kind of shot a little bit of it. We never finished it. I didn't have a real crew. It was just some guys I knew that had a camera and who shared the vision. I wrote it. We started shooting, but we never finished it. I might revisit it later. I don't know.
All right. That sounds mad interesting. And, you know, the whole thing about, you know, your, what you wrote about, you know, what if the South won, you know, the counterfactual, you know, it kind of harkens back to what you, some dope shit you said, you know, in your latest album, Deutschmarsch, you said change the game like the cotton gin, I got it in. Like some dope shit. So, like, as a kid, like, were you just, like, always into history or something like that? Like, just reading history books or something?
Yeah, my mom's, you know what I'm saying? My brother, too, for that matter, you know what I'm saying? Always, you know, use the mind as a tool. Always sharpen with the mind. Always presented books and, you know, opportunity to learn. And I would always take interest in that thing, man. That was always something in my house or my family. You know, a lot of learned people in my family. You know what I mean? Even my brother, you see a lot of things he's doing. People don't really know him, you know, the way that I know him, but he's a scholar first. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something from my family. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you gotta listen really deep into music to catch certain things. But I just come from that stock, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in my family is pretty much a scholar, a learned person. People interested in history and government and geography and all kind of scholastic outlets. You know, and that was always the thing that we was into. So I was always a person who was fortunate enough to wear it on my sleeve more than anybody in my family, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of my cousins and my brothers doing a lot of different things to pave certain lanes for people to do what we had to do. But me, myself, I was able to always be this smart kid. I was always able to be that. You know what I'm saying? And as I got older, I found ways to put that into my music more and more naturally. You know what I'm saying? Naturally. Because it's organic. It's really who I am. You know what I mean?
Right. And, I mean, because another reason why, like, honestly, I'm sure there's probably someone else who has, you know, mentioned like some shit like the cotton gin, like in a rhyme, but I can't recall. And so just like hearing, you know, you mention like something like the cotton gin, and I have an interest in it because I study history. It's just fucking dope. I mean, because, you know, I'm writing lectures and shit like that. And I'm talking about the cotton gin. And I have you playing and shit. I'm like, oh, this nigga just mentioned the fucking cotton gin. So yeah, shit was dope.
People don't know about that. Eli Whitney and the cotton gin, and, you know, and that whole dynamic. That's an element, especially today. That's an element. That's a direction that we don't hardly touch on at all when it comes to urban music. You know, rap music, we don't even pay that shit no attention no more. Like that type of. I ain't talking about the cotton gin itself. I'm talking about just a direction. Even talk about to reference anything from that, you know, from that part of history or that part of our existence, reality. People don't talk about that because that, to me, it all go back to commerce. That was a money thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't more so than oppression. It was about some money. You know what I'm saying? So when I related that in that rap, I'm that, man. That's commerce. You know what I'm saying? That's a money-minded reference. But then it also has its social and cultural and somewhat painful, you know, connotations as well. So yeah, you know.
Right. I mean, it was dope, man, and
dope reference.
Yeah. And all right, so. This is actually a question that like my brother wanted me to ask you too, and I'm really curious too. Ever since like yesterday, so your brother's a lot of Darkman, and you went to the same high school as Bronze Nazareth, right? Now, did you know Bronze like during high school, or you guys like just knew each other in passing?
Bronze was older than me, but younger than my brother. You know what I'm saying? So me and Bronze, I knew him, I knew who he was, but we wasn't like sitting by each other in class cracking jokes type, you know, wasn't quite like that, but I knew who he was 100%. Like I said, he was older than me, but younger than my brother. When he was making beats, I didn't even know he was making beats, but my brother did, and my brother was there, like bring him around RZA and bring him to the clan and everything. So my brother could probably speak more about the early beginnings more so than I can. I was young, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know. All I know, one day we went over Bron's crib, me and my brother, because he lived by my grandma. And we went over Bron's crib, and he played some beats from my brother. And this was like around the same time while I was taking him around RZA and everything. You know what I'm saying? And Bron's was making his moves. Like I said, I knew who he was. I knew he was dope. We had never worked together. We wasn't hanging out in Grand Rapids like that. It wasn't until later when I professionally started making music that I, you know, had a chance to work with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you know, it just makes so much sense because, I mean, you know, you guys are like different rhymers and everything like that, but you guys have like, you know, similar wavelengths, and I mean, like, Bronze's pen, man. Like, I feel like this nigga writes by like a sundial or something. That's the best way I can put it, man.
When we started the Living Daylights project, it made a lot of sense because I told him, I texted him or hit him on Twitter. So I said, yo, we got work, man. Like, you understand how we never worked together? This is ridiculous. I was kind of mad, you know what I mean? Like, in a good way. I'm like, yo, dog, what are we doing? Like, how we from the same space, from the same cloth, from the same. I'm making records, you making records. We ain't got one song together. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, what's up? I remember my brother did some joints for J Love. They did a couple records or whatever. And one of the joints we did, I didn't even know Bronze did the beat. You know what I'm saying? And we was in Detroit, and Bronze gave my brother a CD with a whole bunch of beats on it, and we played the CD in the car. And my brother was kind of like, we had to deal with Warner at the time with Asylum. We was working on drama, working on my projects. So that sound, that Wu-Tang Claw really wasn't on my brother radar at the time. And he took the CD out the deck like, nah, this ain't really time. I said, let me get that. I took it from him, let me get that. I took the CD, I brought it home, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of beats on there, a lot had ended up using for the J Love project. I didn't even listen to it. And then when it was time for Living Daylights, I just called Brian. I was like, yo, man, what's up, man? Let's work, yo. We got to, like, why we not? Come on, man. I see that happening all the time. You see brothers from the same element, but they never work together. Like, oh, word, like you, even outside of music, shared industries. People should work together more often if you both working towards the same thing. If you contribute something to the, to a general project, you should work together all the time. So it only made sense. I told Brian, I say, let's make it happen. He seemed like 100 beats. Out of 100 beats, we probably picked like, he was saying like 20 batches, 20. You know what I mean? I'm saying about 100 beats, I probably picked about 15, 16 out to 100. You know what I'm saying? And it probably was like another 20, 30, 40, 50 that was like just as dope. But I was just stuck on the ones that I heard them and I immediately envisioned the song. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'm going to be really selective and really make sure I pick beats that showcase how great Bronze is. You know what I'm saying? Some beats, they really dope beats, but it may not be dope enough to make a dope song. It might just be a dope beat. And Bronze got all his joints to me. I like all the joints. They all banging. But we picked for Living Daylights was a careful, number of records that I think would have made an impact. I think we did just that.
Yeah, no doubt. And so with all the, with these Wu connections, do you see yourself as a Wu-Tang affiliate?
I once upon a time, I would have said yeah. Then once upon a time, I would have said no. You know what I'm saying? I can't call that. I can't quite say that. But by nature, yeah. You know what I'm saying? By nature, yeah. Because my brother is a Klansman, and I'm from that. So yeah. But I don't champion that. I don't put that on my sleeve. I don't run with that. You know what I mean? I can't quite say that. Not until RZA or Devon or somebody like that come to me and say, yo, you know what I mean? Today they knight me like a knight, you know what I mean? I haven't been knighted. So I can't say that. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that. I'm not that. I'm just closely related to the Wu blood kin though. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely Wu-Tang blood for sure, but I can't call myself a Wu-Tang member, nothing like that. Nah, I can't say nothing like that.
Right. And this is gonna be like the last Wu-Tang related thing I asked you. Okay. Well, so it's really ironic because I don't even know if you remember doing this interview, but you did like an interview with Matthias Danielson for the book The Wu-Tang Movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so funny I have you on today because I literally just interviewed him yesterday for his book, and I bought the book the other day, and it's a big book, and so I was flipping through the pages and everything. I saw you in it, and I was like, oh, that's fucking dope. So yeah.
I haven't seen that book. Where you get that at?
Oh, it's on Amazon. He published it himself, man. Working on it for 7 years.
Well, I gotta go check that. I remember the interview, but I never caught the book. I gotta go catch that.
Yeah, man, yo, like he put like I think I still got my notes. Like overall he put in like it's like 127 artists in there, artists and groups in there. So yeah. He did his work, man. Yeah, it is.
Send me up. But we got the phone. Send me a link. Text me a link to that. I'm gonna cop that. Text me a link.
All right, bet. I'm sure he'll be excited once I tell him that you're going to do that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, so also when it comes to you, so you just mentioned like a while back that you went to college, and something that's interesting to me is that I'm sure your parents were also, you know, encouraging you to do it, but your brother also told you like to go to college because the rap career could wait, and he wanted you to have like kind of like a regular life.
Yeah, yeah. 100%. I thank him for that to this day, man. Like, that's a fact. That's a fact. I know some brothers to this day, you know, and I know them from the music business. If they went to breakfast with their grandmother, they'd come in with the whole rap act, brother. You know what I'm saying? The hat on with the sunglasses and the chain, and you know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, rap has this way of absorbing your life and making you 24/7, 365 a product of all of the music and the conversations about the music, and if you feel about you, whether positive or negative, you walk around under that cloak all the time, and you can never get your Clark Kent on because you gotta be Superman all the time. And sometimes Superman ain't appropriate, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta better be Clark Kent and just sit down and have a regular life and do regular things, because it can detach you from reality. It can detach you from your family. It can detach you from yourself. So you gotta be careful about that. And that's one thing that, as a young guy, I didn't know nothing about it. I just wanted to be a superstar rapper. That's all I know. My brother always told me you got to invest in having a life, though, and then make rap your career. You know what I'm saying? And it's a double-edged sword, because you could say that you're not 100% invested in it if you don't put yourself out there like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I know I still got my regular life. Even if the rap stops tomorrow, I still got a beautiful life. I got a beautiful family. Thank God. I got it. My day-to-day life is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So I made sure that was together before we even talk about anything rap. Because some brothers, they get a bad comment or a bad output on an album or a bad anything in their rap career, and their whole everything is just, it's crushed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? And everybody know rap is a roller coaster, man. And some brothers be invested to the point of where if this don't work, their life don't work. And like I said, it's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? You could say that that's a level of commitment and investment that's valuable, but at the same time, I think it's too risky. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather know that even when the rap stop, I still got a relationship with my family, a relationship with myself, a relationship with God, a relationship with real life, even if this shit stops tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
Right. And what's so dope about you is that you kind of, to me, it seems like you killed two birds with one stone when it came to at least like the first part of your education, because you got like a whole bunch of like college credit in high school. So then by the time you went to Clark, Atlanta, you only had like 2 years left.
Yeah, it could breeze through that. Breeze through that easy.
Yo, that shit like
that easy. It was more than 2 years, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it was more than 2 years, but yeah, exactly though. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I went to prep school in middle school, so when I got to high school was a piece of cake. So I was taking college courses in high school because high school was so easy, and even in college was easy too. All that shit was easy. I tell my son that to this day. I said it's a mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at things like they're difficult, then they're going to be difficult. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at things like they're not, like they're easy, then you're going to treat it as such. You know what I'm saying? I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. I always treated life like that. Oh, this ain't shit. No matter what it is, this ain't nothing. We're going to do it. You know what I mean? And that's how we was able to excel like that. But yeah, man.
So why did you pick Clark, Atlanta?
Because of the history. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was going to go to New York. I was going to go to LA. One or the other. My family's from New York, so I was going to New York because I got family there. You know, LA was lit because I can, you know, get into movies and music and entertainment and everything, and be on the beach and, you know what I mean, and weather and all that, and be in Cali. But it was kind of far. I was 17. You know, it was kind of far. So Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, at the time was bubbling. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, like. The movement for music was coming out of Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, and all the way back from before. I mean, my brother used to come home all the time talking about all these stories about Atlanta. They had the Wu-Wear store down here back in the 90s, and Eric Sherman was down here, and Bike Dog was down here, God bless him, and Atlanta was just lit forever. It always been lit, you know what I'm saying? And good black women, you know what I'm saying? Find your wife and all that, you know what I mean? Like, it always was lit. Atlanta was always a spot. And then the AUC, all the black schools, it was always a dope place, you know what I'm saying? In conversation, it was a dope place to go. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna go to Atlanta. It just kind of crossed all the T's and dotted the I's, whether it's personal life, entertainment, education, and kind of just a good place for young black people, you know what I mean? It kind of just had more stars next to it than anywhere else. So Clark was just, one of the loudest schools at the time, for sure. I was like, I'm gonna go to Clark and knock it out. Go to a black school, school days and different world and all that, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? It just had all of the pieces there, you know what I mean? It made more sense to just come to Atlanta.
Now, so your parents dropped you off like Clark, Atlanta, and then like you had education on your mind, but you said that you also had on your mind that you had to find a place to record a demo and have like all these different kinds of like, it's kind of like a party song, like an underground song, so like people could fuck with you and everything like that. Which I found really like, they're kind of like really like mad smart and like really calculated because, you really killing two birds with one stone, which you really ended up doing, getting your degree there, in mass communications, right? And which I'm sure, that really heavily relates to, to what you do now and with everything you're doing, which I want to get into in a little bit. You go there and then you meet Twiz right in your dorm room.
Yeah, you did your research, brother.
Oh,
you did your research, man. Yeah. That's crazy, son. Yeah. I met Twiz in my building. He was the few doors down from me, and he had some equipment in his room. And like I said, I knew I didn't know how I was gonna go about it, but if I could get these certain songs done that touch on different type of subject matter and type of lanes, I could present this to somebody and say, yo, this is what I can do. My range is this broad. This is what it is. That was a desperate pitch because I thought I wouldn't have enough time or enough resources or enough access to create a whole bunch of music. So I thought I'd be able to just jump in somewhere real fast, record a quick demo, and then just push that demo everywhere I go. That was my game plan. But my man Twiz, he happened to have a whole setup in his room. He was like, yo, every day you hear him playing music all day. I get home from school, from class, and he got this shit booming. I just went and knocked on his door one day, like, yo, what up? I'm Willie the Kid, whatever, I'm from Michigan, yo. You know what I mean? I be spitting. Yo, you got, some of the shit he playing wasn't nothing I heard before, so I knew there was original tracks, you know what I'm saying? At least a couple of them. So I'm like, yo, you make beats? He was like, nah, my cousin make beats. I said, okay. I said, yo, I'm trying to get on some joints, you know what I'm saying? Ask your cousin, you want to send me some beats or what up? And he was like, yo, nah, this is equipment. He'll be here in a couple weeks. When he get here, you just ask him yourself. I'm just watching the equipment. I was like, bet. He was like, yo, let me hear you rap. I'm like, yo, all right. So we was in the room. He'd put on instrumentals, you know what I'm saying, who got the props or whatever it may be, Jay-Z, joints, whatever. I'll be rapping over the instrumentals all night. We was spitting, freestyling and all that. And we started making noise on the floor. And people started coming to the room. Like, yo, what's up? And it was a dope thing because at the time, I said we was in Atlanta. So it was people from all over, Jersey, Houston, Atlanta, New York, Michigan, Florida, Texas. Brothers from all over would come to his room and rap. Whole brothers from Minnesota, you know what I mean? Brothers come through and just rap all different styles in his room. And he'd just play all kind of beats, and it'd be like this. I wish I had some of this shit on tape right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit would be crazy. They always had the video on tape. But it's just a whole bunch of guys in his room that don't even know each other, but the hip-hop brought everybody to that room. You know what I'm saying? The love of the sport brought everybody to his room. And we all be in there rapping all night. And I was like one of the main guys in the room. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew, yo, really nice. He dope. You know what I'm saying? I'll be rapping all night. I'm, just rapping and rapping, battling brothers and rapping next to brothers and, ciphering with brothers. And it was kind of known, like, okay, this dude kind of special. You know what I'm saying? So one of the nights he was doing it, my man was like, yo, he put me to the side, like, yo, when everybody left there, man, he was like, yo, when my cousin come back to this equipment, I'm going to tell him to work with you, man. He going to love your shit, man. You dope. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm telling you, I'm going to put y'all together. Y'all going to do it. I can hear y'all together. It's going to work. I was like, cool. You know what I mean? Let me know. I was excited, but at the same time, I'm whatever. I'm coming from Grand Rapids. I don't believe shit till I see it. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever. I was hyped, but I didn't think too much of it. You know what I'm saying? I was just really hyped, though. I was hoping it would happen. You Went back to the room. One day he came to my door, boom, 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 knocking on the door, like, yo, my cousin, he's here. I'm like, bet, let's go. So I walked to the room, like, yo, Willie the Kid, it's my cousin Don Cannon. I was like, oh, okay, what's up? I met him, like, what's good? He's like, yo, my cousin said you nice, man. We gonna work, man. We gonna work. He already told me you dope. We gonna work. Now, mind you, at the time, Don Cannon was a college student at Clark, too, so he wasn't the Don Cannon we know today. You know what I'm saying? He was a kid just like me. He was, older than me, of course, but he wasn't, nobody knew him outside of that campus. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't have a name at all. So me, him looking at me and seeing something, I was looking at him and seeing something too. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't nobody. I was like, yo, I made it. I met Don Cannon. Nah, I just met some guy who make beats, but I know he dope. He telling the same thing as to me through his cousin. So one time I seen him out and about, moving around. He was like, yo, come by the crib. You know what I'm saying? I think I spit for him, and his cousin and said, yeah, you dope. He was already sold. They said, come by my crib. I'm by the crib. And he was living with some brothers. They was all making music at the crib. So I go to the crib, and I rap for them at the house. And, man, I had the whole house on fire. They were like, yo, you stick around. You dope. We're going to fuck with you. Stick around. And then, the brothers he was living with, Peace to Tone, and then City was living with them, and they was doing music, and they had like a little music group and shit. And I was like helping them with records, jumping on records, and pushing their brand and hyping them up and, holding them down. But he kept telling me the whole time, when I get done with this project, we're going to do your project. And he kept telling me that, just stick around, we'll do your project. And we did that, man. They got done with their joint. We did our project and pressed it up and sold them on the college campus and sold them downtown Atlanta and had them in the book bag, CDs, and just selling them. You know what I'm saying? And them shit sold out. We made a little bit of money. And he was like, yo, people was coming back to him like, yo, this little dude you have one, man, he dope. And I'm like, yeah, that's my artist, Willie the Kid. He nice. So, and we kind of like, from that point on, we was just like twins, man, every day. Me and Cannon, every day. Making the music, pushing the music. He was DJing, so we'd do the parties. You know what I mean? I carried it right back on record crates. It was that long ago, carrying the record crates. You know what I'm saying? Just holding them down. Like, yo, we're gonna get a deal. We're gonna blow. My man gonna get a production deal, and he gonna sign me, and we're gonna blow. And that was always the move. So as he moved around, he got his name going, got his name blown up, and Drama had a bigger name than him. Drama wasn't on campus no more. He was graduated and was making his move in the city, moving around him and Sense both. And Drama would always come back to the campus and took a liking to Cannon and to bring Cannon around and show him different things and let him meet different people and open up for him with shows and help him sell his mixtape when he sell his mixtapes. And he'd bring Cannon and Cannon would bring me. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be with Cannon and Drama. And we basically, from that, and of course Sense was there as well because Sense and Drama were roommates. So anywhere Sense would be there. Like I said, Drama bring Cannon and Cannon to be me. So it's me, Sense, Drama, and Cannon. And my man Ace McCloud, which was an affiliate of, no pun intended, was affiliate of Sense and Drama at that time out of Philadelphia. And he basically helped them to develop the company. Like, yo, y'all should be a company. Y'all should be our own DJ group, do your own thing. Sense was on the radio. You know what I'm saying? So he had that plug on the mainstream. Drama was the guy with the mixtapes and all that. And Kenny was this young, new, hot DJ. You know what I'm saying? And I was the artist. And we took that and we pushed that and made a name in Atlanta, locked down some stores. The mixtape thing started growing. And then brothers needed management. And I brought my brother in. I brought Lion for some management. And the rest is history. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then also you used to record on a 4-track back in in the early days, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did your history for real.
I mean, I was doing this research, because I wasn't aware that you carried crates and everything like that. So I mean, you really did put your work in, man.
100%.
And so this project that you sold locally all around campus and all through the city, was that state of art by any chance?
Damn, son. Yeah, son. Yo, you really did your research for real, son. Yeah, state of the art. Exactly. Yep, that's that project. 100%.
Okay.
Damn. Salute to you, brother. That's thorough.
Well, thank you, man. So I think you probably know what I'm going to ask. Willie, what's good with that? Can we hear that?
Yeah, you can hear it. I got it on CD. I can I can upload it on SoundCloud or something like that. I might do that. That's a good idea. I might do that. That was Don Cannon did like 7 joints, and my man Detroit Red did 2 joints, and then my man Big Jonas from Gun Brew, he came down and he jumped on like 2 joints. You know, he did maybe 3. He did 2 joints for me, and he did a solo, and I did 4 dolo. Detroit Red did 2, and Cannon did the rest. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we did that on the 4-track. We did that on the 4-track machine. Like I don't even. This is where I was Cannon could chime in because he could tell you how he did it. I don't even know what he had the ASR Pro, the X, the red one. He had that, and Detroit Red had the same one, and then Detroit Red had I think he had a Sonic 2, the keyboard. He had one of those too, and we was running the beats through one channel on the 4-track, and then we used the other channel for the recording, and we'd just hold the button down and put a sock on the microphone and go in the closet and, you know what I mean, and just knock it out, man. Talk about hungry, super hungry, man. This is before we had Pro Tools and all that. I like that line when Drake said, where your ass is at, we recorded in the bathroom. I remember that when he said, every time I hear that line, I think about them days, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because
for real.
You used to record in Drama's bathroom, right?
Yeah, I did that too. We did that. That was way later. That's after we already had it moving. Drama crib, he lived on Glen Iris. It's kind of gentrified right now, like a whole nother area right now. But he lived on Glen Iris, and that actual crib was a duplex. Sin stayed on one side, Drama stayed on the other side, and the Drama side of the house, that's where Lil Jon came and did that Gangsta Grizzly, where that drop comes from. That was there. That was right there in his apartment on Glen Iris. Everybody came through there. T.I. came through there. Big Boy came through there. Lil Scrappy came through there. Killer Mike came through there. Everybody came through that crib. You know what I mean? That crib is like, that's like low key. That's like the early beginning D&D of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Drama crib right there. Like that's almost equivalent to D&D. You know what I'm saying? For upcoming out. The Jeezy movement came up through there. T.I. movement came up through there. You know, Ludacris passed through there, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people came through there to plug in to that mixtape network, for sure.
When it comes to State of, like, your first LP, around what time did you guys record that? Because I know that you got to college around, 2004, right?
So State of the Art had to be 2005, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not even sure, man. I should know this, but it was definitely as soon as I got there. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I got there. But it wasn't like a wave like that. It was nothing that we didn't sell a whole bunch of units and was blowing up all over the town. It was just something immediate on the college campus and everywhere that Don would go and DJ, certain promoters, certain mixtape stores. It was a very small thing. It didn't really catch on fire till we did Day the Game Change. We did State of the Art, we did Almost Famous, and then we did Day the Game Change. It didn't catch fire till Day the Game Change, and that was later. That was like 06, 07, something like that. That was later. So that it didn't really catch on fire until then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I was going to ask you this one question about the game change, because I recall in the intro, like you have this little intro, and you're talking about the work you put in and everything like that, and how people, if I recall properly, how people try to get on with Canon or whatever like that, and everything like that. And so it seems to me that you really use that intro to really show the people that you actually put in work. You actually rhyme for Canon. You carry crates for people. Rhyming on 4 tracks and everything like that, because it seems to me that sometimes people get it misconstrued that you didn't actually put work in to be where you are now.
First of all, peace to Guru. You know what I'm saying? God bless the day. I copied and jacked that intro from Hard to Earn. That's why I called the intro Hard to Earn, because that's from the Hard to Earn album. Guru said that. I just flipped it and put that out there. Guru already coined that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I call it Hard to Earn. I don't want nobody to think I was trying to bite it, run with it. It was a tribute to what he said. It was a tribute to that album. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to earn. This shit ain't come out the blue. Niggas work for it. And another thing, speak to your point, the whole time I was making my rounds with Drama and Cannon and Live moving around, like when affiliates days, a consensus among people who didn't know was that I was just chilling and they put me on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's definitely a misconception. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody who knows, and it's not a lot of people who know, but anybody who knows will tell you, I was there from the beginning helping brothers build that brand. They didn't blow up and was these big names and came and gave me a record deal. Like, that's the misconception that people think. Like, Drama was this big-time DJ with T.I. and Jeezy, and I was just some kid who we gave a record deal to. Nah, nigga, y'all got it fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember me, Drama, and Kenny sitting down and piecing up to get pizza. $5 a piece to get some pizza. You know what I'm saying? And putting CDs together in Drama's living room. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was there for that. Or brothers do a gig and they running late. I got to be the one to bring the records in while they set up and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was there for that type of thing. Or going to the mixtape stores and dropping off CDs and brothers dissing us. Hey, I'm not carrying this. That's back when you go to the clothing stores or the music stores and they have like these big CD booklets full of mixtapes. And I'm talking about everybody was out, from J Love to Cutmaster C to K Slade to Clue to from the smallest to the biggest mixtapes was in those booklets. And we would come and bring a new Don Cannon mixtape or a new DJ John mixtape and try to get the stores to carry our mixtapes. And they would diss us. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is pre-Gangsta Grills, pre-affiliates and all that. I was there for all that rejection. I was there for all of that work. You know what I'm saying? So when people saw me with the jewels on, affiliate chain, I'm on stage, I'm rocking, I'm doing my thing, they thought I was just some kid who they gave a record deal to. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how it can come off, I understand, because I don't got a big mouth. I don't talk a lot. I don't brag a lot. I don't do things for your recognition. I put the work in and reap the benefits. And that, to me, that's the A to Z for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't do a lot of, check what I'm doing. Look at me. Y'all owe me this. Pay my dues. I just really paid them for real. You know what I'm saying? And really ate more than I broadcasted it. So you get some guys who don't know no better. They run up and say, yeah, man, why you son Willie the Kid, man? He did it. It wasn't even like that. I helped develop and build what we had. So it was only right that I was putting out my music through that same outlet. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, speaking of you performing, and I've been curious about this for years because, unfortunately I haven't had the chance to actually see you perform live. But when you perform, what's the makeup of your audience?
That's a good question. It depends on where we are, right? Like, for the most part, like, when we first was really getting busy, it was more of a mixed crowd it was more of a homogenous crowd because we was performing off the Gangsta Grills brand, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of my earlier shows on mainstream outlets came from my affiliation with DJ Darkman and Gangsta Grills brand. So you get your T.I. crowds, your Gucci Mane crowds, you get that. That's why my label was telling me, my friends and everybody in my business, like, we got to make music to get toward these crowds. But what I was doing simultaneously was I was sticking true to that They the Game Change, you know what I'm saying, that state of the art, that almost famous, that early Willie the Kid thing that kind of like gave me my position from the get-go. So simultaneously, if you listen to all my projects, there's always a record in there that kind of sounds like that boom bap sound that's coming back right now. Mm-hmm. I kind of kept my finger on that sound the whole time. Especially after we dropped the album Absolute Greatness, I kind of ran right back to that sound. So you listen to like Never a Dull Moment, listen to The Fly 2, all the way up to Masterpiece Theater and Living Daylights and all them projects, that I was always positioning myself to be like a new age Nas or Wu-Tang, and not to even name drop, but just on that lane right there. Even when I was at the height of the Gangsta Grills and affiliates moment, I still wanted to be this boom bap artist. And that had its pluses and it had its negatives to it as well. So the crowds would be, if it's a Gangsta Grills event, it'd be that southern mixtape street trap crowd, yeah. But if I was doing a show, let's say my bookings in the Midwest, I was getting booked in Chicago, Detroit, them areas like that. Even to this day, most of my shows are like in that area. Maybe even New York here and there, maybe. But most so in that Midwestern area. If I'm performing there, they came to hear some bars. So you getting these mixed Wu-Tang type of crowds. You know what I'm saying? You getting new people who came to hear some raps. I remember being on tour one time for a Gangsta Grillz album. This is a major release on Atlantic, and we was on a label tour, promotional tour. We went to this spot in Ohio. I want to say Columbus or somewhere. And John was on the mic. When I see Gangsta Grillz and AOT, who like T.I.? Jeezy, they going crazy. And some dude jumped up and was like, yo, forget all that. Let him rap. And pointing at me, let Willie the Kid rap. This man like, yeah, let him rap. And they gave me the mic, and I just kicked some shit a cappella, and the whole crowd went crazy. And I tapped Drum. I said, yo, Drum, you see, what I'm doing is kind of going off of this path. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, they kind of had me just associated with what Drum was doing, which is cool to get my name out there. But I had to get really serious about planting my own 2 feet and making my own way. You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm presenting organically is a whole nother lane, a whole nother sound. I can dibby and dabby in that T.I. trap, Gucci Mane, Jeezy world, but what I really, really do is more like some Nas shit. You know what I'm saying? Or some Wu shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I had to kind of put my finger on and push forward. So depending on the promoter, depending on the booking, depending on who called, you know what I'm saying? I did some shows a lot of shows in Chicago coming up, and all they wanted to hear was the shit we was doing on Never a Dull Moment and the Fly Too. They didn't want to hear no Gucci Mane type of music from the crowd that, you know, I was performing to at that time, you know.
Now, I mean, because you know, like whenever, because I remember one time, like you did you do like small tours like over in Japan and everything like that, and whenever I imagine like your crowd or everything like that, I imagine honestly that's probably like full of like just black women because of like the formulas. Because like the formulas of your mixtapes, because you all like nowadays you always have like that one or two like, you know, relationship songs, like the Peach to Rock Darts, the Bathwater Run-ins, like just recently Paula Patton, which is mad dope. How frequently do you perform nowadays?
Yeah, right now we rocking from the project. So the project dropped, we performing around the project, you know what I'm saying? But I hadn't dropped a project in the last year or so. I invested in a couple businesses and started building my businesses up and wasn't on the road as much, you know what I'm saying? But like now it's picking back up because we got the projects out. So, you know what I'm saying, as the projects come out, then, you know, the shows come back around. But speaking of Japan, I put an album out in Japan. So when you saw me out there, I was promoting the album. I signed a deal with a company called P-Vine, and they wanted the Fly series. So I made a hybrid Fly mixtape, and they packaged it up, you know what I'm saying, and put it out at all the HMVs and stuff in Japan. See, Japan still had record stores at the time we did that. Record stores were shutting down in the States. Japan had physical record stores at the time. So people go and buy CDs and records and shit. So we did a whole run with the record stores out there and did some shows and all of that for a release of a commercial album out there. They did vinyl and all that. Shit was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the ladies, like that's just, like I said, that's just me being straight up. Like I said, you go to all my projects, like you just said, you would always find a record like that. And that's not me trying to make a record for the ladies. Like that's corny. You know what I'm saying? That's really me. That's honest. It's honest music. You know what I'm saying? Like that's honest. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just me being creative and tapping into what I really be going through. You know what I'm saying? Like was really real. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just me taking our creative freedom and my liberty to talk about real life shit. And the ladies is definitely instrumental. I mean, how could they not be? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that is what it is.
Right.
And the ladies, they respond. I see shit sometimes on Instagram and it's like, damn, you'd be surprised how many ladies really be listening. You know what I'm saying? On that level. You know, they listening, they hear, and they like it, but some of the things I be hearing back from the ladies is always motivational. It's always good to hear that. You know what I'm saying? They definitely fucking with it.
Right. I mean, like, yeah, because like the thing about like your relationship songs or whatever like that is the fact, because like they don't seem forced. Where like with a lot of artists, even like really dope artists, it seems to me at least when you listen to them, they just sound like it's like they have a formula, and like when they're like recording an album or something, they're like, oh shit, I gotta do like, you know, a little relationship song, yada yada yada. But like you're one of the few artists that I actually look forward to like the 1 or 2 relationship songs you have, because you always like switch your shit up. Like so from Bathwater Running and then like Paula Patton, like you always have different angles of like your relationships and like certain things that you're doing at the moment, which is always dope to catch when you come out with new projects.
Right, cause it's true, brother. And I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of artists that make the kind of music I make, niggas really ain't playboys for real, man. Niggas don't really be knowing how to treat ladies and be with women, and niggas be corny. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's no diss at nobody in particular, but I'm telling you, a lot of artists that make the vein of music that I make, they not ladies' men, so they can't really make that and make it sound real. You know what I'm saying? If they make it, it's gonna sound corny. You know what I mean? Or you get mainstream artists who's not a part of the lane, and they making it to because they know ladies want to hear certain type of things. But me, I'm just treating that the same way I would treat a rap about the streets or the neighborhood or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all the same. All the records connect like that because they come from an honest place. You know what I'm saying? I can stand by that 100%. And a lot of guys, quote unquote, similar to me, they can't tap into that way because they don't do that for real. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Now during the Gangsta Grillz affiliates days and everything like that, we all know about the historic raid and everything like that and what happened. And in the process, they took hard drives and they took like the masters for your album. And so I'm curious to know, did they take like other like albums or projects that you were working on during that time also?
Yo, you better get your research. It's crazy. Yo, nah, at the time, all I was doing was my album. So what they took was my album. You know what I mean? They took some, it took everything, man. So they took everything, and that's so much the case that I don't even know what all they took. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever we had at the time was gone. You know what I mean? That's music, hard drive, equipment, cars, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Money, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they hit the reset button on us. We had to rebuild everything. I kept my car, but I think Don lost his whip, Drown lost his whip, my brother kept his car. And I lost my album. I think Drum lost what he was working on for his album. La wasn't started on the album yet. Cannon lost beats. You know what I'm saying? We lost a lot of like mixtapes, like the actual pieces. Lost a lot of that stuff. They ransacked the studio, put holes in the wall, holes in the ceiling and shit. They was looking for drugs and guns, but that wasn't the case. We were musicians, so they was tearing that up, looking for that. We had to put the whole thing back, trash the place. It's like mixtape covers, like boxes, thousands and thousands of covers just poured all over the floor any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Shit knocked off the wall. I mean, we had to really rebuild. I got footage of it though, and one day we're gonna put the footage out. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit! I got footage of how it looked after they ran through there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was definitely a moment where certain people around us really started to step away from us, and a lot of folks really they wouldn't touch us. They wouldn't talk to us. They just, they unaffiliated themselves with us, and people started really thinking about doing other things with their life. You know what I'm saying? Put a lot of shock to a lot of people, and my brother was one of the people that was like, yo, we're not going to stop. We're going to take this and make ourselves famous even more off of what happened to us. We're going to wear this with pride. We're going to bust through the door with this shit. I think that was the piece of advice that turned it around for everybody. You know what I'm saying? That turned it around for everybody. How we finna keep pushing through this? You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, we damn near lost everything with that. We got it all back, though. And it was nothing. We came back stronger than ever after that.
Right. Well,
as a matter of fact, that's when we really blew. Actually, that's when it really worked. After that happened, they really did us a big favor. Because before we still was hustling, we had our movement, still was doing our thing. But after that, that's when we started doing shows in Switzerland and Germany and Sweden and all. You know what I mean? That's when it got serious. You know what I'm saying? That's when they started cutting the budgets for the albums for real. And that's when it really started going down. You know what I'm saying? Started cutting the checks for real, for real.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like you said, right? When like something like that happens to all y'all being young black successful men during that time, you made it when cops and certain institutions start fucking with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it was lit. It was. I mean, and at the same time, I know nobody from the South was doing it like that at the time on that kind of level when it comes to mixtapes. Mm-hmm. Like Drama created a brand that was the platform and the go-to for street marketing, period. You know what I'm saying? Period. There was no other brand as pivotal and instrumental to just breaking Southern hip-hop than that Gangsta Grillz brand. And that's by far, you know what I'm saying, the forerunner for all of that, especially at that time. So we had to ascend, man. We had to land on somebody's radar eventually, you know what I'm saying? And we did just that.
Right. And what's so funny about about, you know, you having a mass communications degree and then like the whole RAID thing is the fact that I was, you know, doing research and everything, and then I came across this mass communications textbook that has like a little, like some parts dedicated to the mixtape RAID.
Word.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, you mentioned it too. Yeah, it's all about drum, you, and everything like that. So I just found that
crazy.
bad ironic.
Oh shit! I didn't know. I got to call Drum and tell him that. That's crazy.
Well, well, I can see you. I can see you a link to that too if you want.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I'm gonna send that to Drum. Please, man. Please send me that. That's crazy.
Yeah. No doubt. So why a degree in mass communications?
Couple reasons. One, it came from a misunderstanding. I wanted to go to school, and I wanted to do. Well, my vision was I wanted to do, if I wasn't going to do music, I wanted to go to law school. But I wanted to go to law school as an entertainment lawyer, right? And if I wasn't going to do that, then I wanted to be like Marcus Graham on Boomerang. You know what I'm saying? I like the Eddie Murphy character, Marcus Graham. That was my vision. That's what I was going to do. You know what I'm saying? So if I wasn't going to do music, I was going to do entertainment law. Entertainment law was going to be the Marcus Graham situation. So when I got to Clark, I thought that I can go and do pre-law anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But Clark didn't have a sturdy pre-law program. So that kind of like, that was my fault. I didn't do the proper research or whatever. I was happy to be at Clark, so fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I said, yo, I'm gonna try to go do marketing or whatever and advertising like Eddie Murphy did on Boomerang. And I'm talking to my advisor, and my advisor said, yo, you might as well go do PR and mass comm. Clark is a mass comm school. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people come out of Clark. I need to kind of like jot a list, but it's a lot of quote unquote famous people from the business that went to Clark. You know what I'm saying? On all levels, journalism, radio, TV, film, music. A lot of alumni came out of Clark Atlanta, so they were telling me, yo, you might want to go to the mass comm department. It's the most lit department in the school. That's what we're known for. And from that, you can learn entertainment and become an entertainment lawyer. Or from that, you can learn entertainment and PR and radio and film, and you can carry that knowledge over to, you know, marketing and being an advertising rep or some shit like that. I'm like, cool. It's a good place to just, you know, to do whatever I want to do. I can catapult it from this building, from this background. So sure enough, I was there. I met people from the radio, I met people from the film. Like a lot of my first videos you seen, my man Donnie Leapart, he shot him. He's from the Clark Atlanta Communications Department. You know what I'm saying? How I got connected with the affiliates was definitely from building with Don Cannon, but my man DJ Sense, he was doing radio in that department. And I saw him when I first got to Clark with my mom, and I bumped into him like, yo, what up? I'm Willie the Kid. I pitched myself to him as soon as I seen him. This is before I even seen him with Don. I already told him I was doing music or whatever. So he saw me with Don. It was like a confirmation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I met him down there. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people and a lot of opportunities I got came from being in the mass comm department at Clark at that time. So definitely a dope place. I think it was just God sending me in that direction. That's where I needed to be to do what I ended up doing. You know what I'm saying? Even now, right? We did a film a couple years ago. I already had a quote unquote film background. You know what I'm saying? So like, it just all made sense, man. That just made sense.
Now, so you go ahead and then you recreate Absolute Greatness, and you have like I think you described it as like a one-off deal with Asylum, with like an option like to resign if everything went straight. Right.
The album was called The Crown Prince originally.
Oh, okay.
That's the album that they took in the raid, and a lot of that music. It's I got a couple songs up on YouTube from way back then. You can Google it, you can YouTube it. It's old Willie the Kid shit, man. I put a couple records up back then. That was the album, The Crown Prince. I lost the hard drives, but I didn't lose the 2-track bounces. So I still got the bounces. You know what I'm saying? On my one of my old computers, like one of my first Macs I ever had, like an old Mac. I could probably plug it back in and get the records off. I got the MP3s on the external drive. But I don't got none of the files. You know what I'm saying? It took the files. So I can't put it out in its full form. It'd be rough, but you know, you could listen to the album. And that was the Crown Prince album. And we came back and they was like, yo, I had to deal with Asylum. At the time, Asylum had like Boosie, Webby, D4Well, Shorty Low. Rest in peace, Shorty Low. Yo, that's crazy too. In this conversation, we had to say rest in peace to about 4 different artists. Man, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. I just said rest in peace, Fife, Guru, Prodigy, and Shorty Low. This one little interview. We lost a lot of pivotal players, man, in our community, man. That's crazy. That's real crazy. But yo, neither here nor there. So we did the Absolute Greatness album, just because we had to deal. Time was right. They was asking for it, but at the same time, the machine wasn't geared toward the type of music that I was creating. Even on the Crown Prince album, not to mention before the Crown Prince album, the machine at Asylum that's back when ringtone rap was the wave. You know what I'm saying? So they were doing Wipe Me Down and Laffy Taffy, and I think Bun B was over there holding it down. I think they had just signed Jim Jones or something like that. That was the only diversity from that sound, was Jim Jones, I think, and Bun B. Other than that, it was straight Southern trap or snap ringtone music. That's all they had over there. So I'm presenting with the opportunity the whole time. This is some funny shit. We're talking about this. Asylum was a part of the Warner tree, but in that building you had Atlantic, of course, and then you had Asylum on the floor beneath it. You go to the Atlantic floor, and at the time it was Lupe Fiasco everywhere, right? Lupe skateboards, Lupe posters, Lupe everywhere. And I was a big fan of Lupe from before the Atlantic deal. My man J-Rod, piece of J-Rod, he went to Morehouse, I went to Clark, and he was a friend of Lupe, so he was always giving me the music from Lupe, and I've been fucking with Lupe, man. Peace to the brother, man. And I'm telling everybody, see, this is another artist that's not getting caught up in the snap music and the ringtone music. This is an artist that's standing firm on doing what he want to do. You know what I'm saying? Now, my team, the people around me telling me I can't do that kind of music because that's not the wave right now. I said, but you know what? The fact that it's not the wave, it's a risk, but the fact that it's not the wave might be how I can carve my own space in this shit, because I'm making shit that don't sound like nobody else shit. And they're like, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. I remember the first day we went to the building, we go to the Atlantic floor. I said, you see all these Lupe flyers and stickers and posters everywhere? That's what I'm talking about. He's going against the whole machine. Because at the time, T.I. was lit in the Atlantic building, but Lupe was just as lit. You know what I'm saying? Making skateboard, lyrical, you know, type of music he was making. He probably fought his battles too with his creative energy and his creative direction. But I'm just saying, he still was able to carve out a way and make his name, you know what I'm saying, among what was going on at the time. So my folks telling me, nah, not possible, not gonna happen. So I had to make some compromised music to kind of fit the bill of what the machine was calling for, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we did. The album did good. I had a good time making it. I don't regret. I wouldn't change nothing about it. But I must say, at the same time, the whole time, I'm like, this really ain't the real me. This ain't really the pure me the whole time. I have my qualms with it, but I appreciate the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? 100%.
Right, and I mean, you're right, and I think if anything, you know, like just like like your artistry at this point, like the stage you are, you know, in your career. I can't help but think that like that period doing like a, you know, just being a part like the whole Gangsta Grills wave and like, you know, making that album, it helped you become even more versatile than what you already were during that period. Because I mean, even like on the day the game changed, you know, like I didn't even realize like the intro was paying homage to Guru and Hard to Earn, and then, you know, you're rapping on Ice Water, I think, on that mixtape too.
Right. Yeah. At the end. Right. Yeah.
So. Right, yeah, so it makes a lot of sense. And then even also, like, during that time, like, you were pretty productive. I recall, like, I think in an interview in 2008, you mentioned that you guys had, like, reality show offers. You had, like, 2 movie scripts that you had written during that period and everything like that.
Had that as well, and the clip ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I always had these projects. I'm a project guy. I always got projects going on. If you stop me and see me in the street right now, you probably see me headed to going to work on a project. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always on a mission, man. And I had as much. Now it's even crazier now because I've matured in the business. I've seen enough. I've met enough. I've learned enough. Now I'm on a whole nother level with it now. My level of involvement in my projects and what I want to do next and what I'm working on it's kind of all over the place right now. I'm scattered among a whole plethora of businesses and opportunities and creative ideas. But even back then, I was the same, organized confusion guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I had movies, I had, clothing ideas I wanted to do, TV shits I wanted to do, managing certain other artists I wanted to bring to the table and put them out. All these things, you know what I'm saying? I was young and I was early in the business, so I couldn't quite put my hand on all of it. But I got my shit off how I wanted to, and I definitely set myself up to be productive today. I line myself up to be good right now, and that's the best part about it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I want to talk a bit about your lifestyle line in a little bit too. And so, all right. So I'm curious to know, like, so after like Absolute Greatness, you then make this transition, well, not really a transition, but you develop this whole concept of the fly to really, showcase your artistry and like, and who you are fully, I guess, or more of a 3-dimensional, project from you. But during that period, like after Absolute Greatness and, and it doing well and everything, were you pressured to sign like another deal with like another major or like go back to Asylum?
Not at all, because with the Absolute Greatness and while we were doing it, I'm telling them loud, like, yo, I want to do this, to secure just to finish off the deal. You know what I'm saying? They provided advances. They provided a budget. They finally opened the budget to us. They said they were ready. I'm turning music in. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. But the whole time I'm doing it, I'm like, yo, I want to be able to be as creative and as free to do as I want to do. I don't want to have to make a song with another quote-unquote trap artist to try to tap into a lane that I'm not even going into. Like the first year, we had Gucci Mane and all these people on the record, and I got love for all them brothers, but I thought that was kind of smothering what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like Jock and Gucci and Flo Rida and Trey. And it was dope. You know what I'm saying? But that kind of like, I kind of got lost in the sauce of who I really am in that process. So I told bro, I said, yo, I want to be able to make what I want to make, even if that means I have to go completely indie to do it. You know what I'm saying? Or we can let them know, hey, next go around, we're going to change the format a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now, at the time, Drama had a situation with Atlantic, too. Gangsta Grillz, album 1 and 2 was around that time. And I saw the trouble he was having. You know what I'm saying? Because he was signed to Grand Hustle originally, and he wasn't even signed to Atlantic direct. He was signed to Grand Hustle to Atlantic. So I saw the trouble he was having with them buildings and working like that. And I said, well, that's dope because I love the mainstream support and everything, but a lot of the waves I'm getting coming from something I'm doing by myself. We put a video out for Tell 'em, and that did just as good as the Love for Money video, damn near, as far as the reception I was looking for. And then even after that, like I was one of the first artists to really start playing that iTunes game. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's on iTunes now, but we did a project called Never a Dull Moment. That's one of the first independent, it's like straight up one of the first independent hip-hop releases on a digital platform like that. Niggas was still putting out CDs when I did that. I ain't make no hard copies of that album. That was completely digital. That was one of the first. I remember bringing that idea to my brother and them. They laughed at me. They was like, "Yo, you a brainy computer nigga. Like we still in the street. We got CDs. I'm telling you, the internet about to be the wave. I'm telling you, the internet. I saw that coming back before that happened. I remember RZA came to the studio and he had a flash drive back in like 06, 07, a flash drive. He was like, yo, this is going to be the wave of the future right here. Everybody going to be no more hard copies, no more booklets, no more. It's going to be strictly digital. He put out a flash drive, Bobby Digital. He put it out of his pocket. I was like, yo, when he did that, it struck a nerve with me. I'm talking to my man Bannon, who we did Never a Dull Moment. He's working with a company, Clockwork Music. Shout out to Dan Green, and Dan Green said the same thing. So Never a Dull Moment was the first project of one of the first completely digital albums to come out from that cloth. So I got these ideas in my mind. We're doing Absolute Greatness, and we put it out, and it did what it did. But I got a lot of mixed reviews from my grassroots following. You know what I'm saying? A lot of folks said, bro, this ain't the Willie that I came to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too compromised. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a line I did a project called The Crates. And there's a line on the record called Cornucopia. I said, niggas like, thank you for giving them the pure you. You know what I'm saying? Never again will I shudder. Like that was the comment to that. Like people was calling my phone, people who I grew up with, people who've been following my music from back when we first got started, people like family members. They're like, yo, this is dope. I like it. But it's all entertainment. Where are you in this, Willie? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are you at? You know what I'm saying? It's entertaining. It's dope. We rocking with it. We know you making money. Proud of you. But where are you at? Like, you're not spending no time on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like I wasn't thinking the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking it too. So I was like, yo, we're going to get them this one album, and we're not finna go and sign a second one or a third one because when we came back, they wouldn't have gave me another one and done. They'd have wanted me to get down for like 5 albums, some crazy shit like that. And I wasn't going to lock back in like that and be waiting on budgets and waiting on green lights and being told what I can't do. And I got to make a song there. If they don't approve it, they're going to release the budget for the single. If they don't approve the single first. And I remember Lupe he just fell out with them too because he didn't want to do, I forget the name of the record, but they didn't give it to B.O.B. And I remember B.O.B. didn't want, B.O.B. stormed off of his tour because he didn't want to do that. They came to pick him up for promo, so he wouldn't get in the car. He was like beefing with the label. And I was watching all of this happening. I said, yeah, that's what's going to happen to me. I'm gonna get very uninterested in the music without giving myself a chance to at least present who I really am to the people. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at it like, well, damn, now that I got this big platform, everybody's watching me now. I'm on a Solemn, Warren, I got Drama, Gangsta Grills, Philly, we got all of these bells and whistles. Now is the perfect time to take the mask off, which is kind of why I did the Fly film. You see the Fly film, it's about the mask coming off. That's all, that all stems from that part of my life right there. Now I can take the mask off and stop being a quote-unquote team player for the label and start being who I really am. And I told myself when I do that, I'm willing to take whatever comes with that. If I go from 20,000 people following me to 5,000 people following me, I'll take a 5 organic, true following before I take that extra 15,000 people who really just come in here because of the label and the brand and drama and all these other bullshit things that had nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? So I did that. And that's where the Fly came from. The Fly was my effort. I let people know, okay, you heard this, you seen that, you think you know me, but you don't know me. This is who I am. So the Fly mixtape was the beginning of that. And this is the Fly mixtape that's a little bit more intense than Absolute Greatness. It's more intense than all that Gangsta Girl shit I did. You know what I'm saying? It's more personal. You know what I'm saying? It's more descriptive. You know what I mean? It's more, if you know me, you know that's really me. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to that. And the projects after that. You know what I'm saying? Never a Dull Moment sounds just like me. The Fly 2, that's just like me. The Crates, The Cure 2, The Crate, Masterpiece Theater, all that, man. Living Daylights. Oh, that's Aquamarine. Like, that's me somewhere. That's me. You know what I'm saying? That's all me. And I said, I'll take an independent following of people who really know me and really fuck with me for who I am before I take this fabricated following of people who may or not support it tomorrow because I didn't keep the facade going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing that.
Right. Now, when it comes to like this concept of the Fly, it has layered meanings. You're right, like just kind of flying away, breaking away from the whole Gangsta Grills aesthetic, and then it also revolves around, I guess, just being fly in general and just having fly rhymes. But I can't help but think, just with your interest in film and everything like that, is it also a play on your interest in film and movies and everything like that?
Yeah, if you look at how I did it, look, the first Fly mixtape, it was like airplanes, it was aviated, you know what I'm saying? It was fly like in a literal sense like that. And of course it was fly like, fly rhymes and the fly lifestyle was that too. We shot a video in a helicopter and all that kind of crazy shit. It was kind of fly, We did that. And that was the first project. On the second project,
Transformation.
That was the Transformation. That's when my team kind of parted ways at that time. Everybody started doing their own thing, and we kind of wasn't how we used to be. So I'm going through that. So I'm in the middle of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Cannon and Drum and Sins, those are my friends, but a lot, that's my family. So I'm like in the middle of that. So I'm like, it's like being in the middle of a divorce. You know what I'm saying? You're watching your team break up like that. And for me, I had that on my back, the shifting in the business and the shifting in my everyday friends I be with every day. And then I had a shifting in just my life, period. You know what I'm saying? As far as my career is concerned. People are like, what you gonna do next? So what's now? So what you gonna do? there's a lot of talk, you know what I'm saying, from everybody. I'm like, well, damn, I need to make some moves to make sure no matter what happens, I stand firm on these brands and I stand firm on what it is I do, you know what I'm saying, as an artist. This is like, I looked at it more of an opportunity, you know what I'm saying? Like, now I got all the space in the world to be myself and make what I want to make. And I think what I can make, it'll save my career. It'll save what I'm interested in. It will save everything. And that's exactly what I did with the Fly, the transformation. So the Fly 2 was basically my opportunity to go crazy and make a whole entire lane of that type of music I want to make. And I grabbed onto that movie, Fly, the Jeff Goldblum joint. I grabbed onto the movie. And if you go back and look at the Instagram or the promos on the internet and everything, I was using visuals from that movie for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's my tie-in to the film. You know, when the film, he went to the machine and transferred to this music. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was some horror film, some crazy shit. But to me, I transformed at that time. I became a monster at that time. I had to be. You know what I'm saying? That's when everything started picking up for me as a solo artist. I was no longer the Gangsta Grills dude with drama. I kind of separated myself from that at that point. You know what I'm saying? People, of course, know me for that, but that album was the moment I separated myself from all of that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about being Lie Younger Brother or being Drama's artist no more. I had to transform. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because I'm so happy, so glad you said that, because I remember the first song that came off the Fly 2 that came out on the internet, and I think it was, if I'm correct, it was Booth Shot Lincoln. I was still in college. I was in my room, and I was looking at like Two Dope Boys or Rap Radio, whatever it was, and I just saw the picture. I'm like, oh, some new Willie just came out, because I was still on the Cure and everything like that, and so I'm like, this is interesting. Like the picture for it. I was like, this is kind of intense, and then I just put that shit on, and like the way you just like got off on that, I was like, something must have hit this nigga. He must be going through something or whatever like that. Right, man, and like. Right, man, because and I feel like, because I do feel like ever since the Fly 2, and I even like Never a Dull Moment too, because that came out like a little before, right? Yeah, right. Because you just like, it's just like ever since then you just turned on this switch, and like you just haven't stopped, and I just think like you're right. Like I feel like you turned like Super Saiyan or something. Like ever since Never a Dull Moment a little bit, and so when it comes to Never a Dull Moment, because you and Lee Bannon recorded overseas, right?
Nah, we recorded that in California. We did a lot of that out of Sacramento. Yeah, a lot of that was out there. It was definitely a light switch moment. That's 100% true. I said, because I found myself in a position where it was like now or never. You know what I mean? They got you affiliated and tied up in being an artist with Gangsta Grills, DJ Drama. And then you like a lot of Darkman, Younger Brother. You have no identity on your own. You know what I'm saying? And now that they're separating their business relationship between Drama and La, that would have left me nowhere, man. Like where would I would have been if I just would have sat back and let them just do that without me being active? You know what I'm saying? Right. I would have got. I'm already muddled and compromised from my association with them, which was the source of my success. So I can never front on it, but I never had my own identity until after they parted ways. You know what I'm saying? So that pressure and that inspiration and that motivation on my back, that's all that you hear on Never a Dull Moment and the Fly 2 and all that shit that came after that. It was me being able to have the freedom and the space to do me and be me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Now, on Never a Dull Moment, like it's a rather dark album, because you tend to always, like on almost every song, I guess, other than Bathwater Running, you tend to, mention gun violence and things of that nature. So during that period, like, was there like a particular, like, I don't know, event or something like that influenced you, in your writing about gun violence?
Now, gun violence is just a reality where I'm from. That's just real. You know what I'm saying? If we speak about anything organic, we can't leave that out of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? I have friends and family members and people I know and people I don't know, all from my community, affected heavily by gun violence. I made a record called Cocking Them Things Back, and I put that on Absolute Greatness. That's pretty much a true story. You know what I'm saying? The record, Newsflash on Never a Dull Moment, and the record The Guilt on Living Daylights, those are all derived from somewhat real situations. I kind of, protected the innocent about, change some shit up. But, those are realities. You know what I'm saying? Like, we call Grand Rapids Gun Rule where I'm from. I'm not proud of that. I used to be proud. When I was young, I was a little more ignorant about the situation, so I was, it was tough to say that. Now I'm a little bit older. I don't really say that as much anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really proud of it because it's a real thing, man. It's a real thing. So never a dull moment. Once again, like I was telling you about the ladies, it was just me being honest. It was just me being an artist. You know what I'm saying? So if you hear gun violence shit, that's real shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just taking it from an honest place. That's all. I wasn't trying to glorify it, nothing like that. But same thing like we said about the ladies being on the records here and there. Honest place, man. I can't speak honestly without speaking on it.
Now, why didn't Lost in France make the cut for Never a Dull Moment? I was curious about that.
Yeah, man, you really did your research. It's crazy. Lost in France was a record that we made after Never a Dull Moment was packaged and turned in to iTunes. Okay. And Lost in France was a record that Lee Bannon was going to put on his album. He supposed to follow up Never a Dull Moment with a series of albums. The next album was going to be the Lee Bannon album, and it was called something French or something France. He went and got all these French records, and all of the beats coming from French music. You know what I'm saying? And he was going to get like me and Planet Asia and a couple other guys to get on there, and it's going to be his album. And I was going to help him do that, push it, and run with it. His solo album, and they was gonna link back up and do another Never a Dull Moment Part 2, which we did, and you heard it, but you heard it on different projects. You know what I'm saying? Like Never a Dull Moment Part 2 is Die Free from the Fly 2, fucking Toxic with Alchemist from the Fly 2. That's all Never a Dull Moment Part 2. Me and Krondon, Your Encouragement on the Cure 2. That's from Never a Dull Moment 2. Proof from Little Brother, Joe Scudder, we got a record, Game Winning Shot, that's from there. Me and La got a record called Boston George Shades, that's from there. Like, we did it, but Ben and for some reason, he didn't want to follow up with the project, so I just used the songs from all the projects. But Lost in France didn't make it because that wasn't for Never a Dull Moment, too. That was for a Lee Bannon album, and we put it on Never a Dull Moment. We could have, but it was too late, and then we just put it on a Lee Bannon album that never came out.
Okay, cool. Now, this is something that I also noticed, and now this could just be that's just something that you always did. You just didn't get the chance to do. But you're to me at least, you're like the only rapper that I know that who has like really made this a thing, and that's like reverse rhyming. Where for the listeners out there, like a reverse rhyming is literally you just rhyme the first syllable of a word rather than the last syllable of a word when you're making like poetry or whatever like that. And you really like made this like a thing, and you continue to do it, from Never a Dull Moment up until now with Deutschmark. So during that period, was that something that you tapped into, or it was just something that you always did?
It's a technique. It's called iambic pentameter. It's a poetic technique, and I studied that shit, but I didn't try to do it. I'm telling you, as an artist, there's nothing I'm doing that I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing it. I'm doing whatever comes natural. So I can't even really say why I'm doing that and how I'm doing that. I'm just doing the shit, bro. It's just the music just sends me in that direction, man. I can't claim to say I do that purposely or I strategize my rhymes like that. It don't come out like that. I just write the shit and it comes how it comes. I can't even think about it. If I start thinking about it, I'm gonna be thinking too hard. You know what I mean? I gotta just go in there and be me. I can't think about it. I've been through a process where I was thinking too hard, and that's not the kind of music I want to make. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to think about nothing. I want to go in there and turn the music on, and whatever comes out, comes out. So I'm not deliberately saying, I'm not gonna rhyme this word. I'm gonna rhyme a different word. I'm not thinking about it that deep. When you start doing that, it's no longer art. Now you just putting something together. You being more of a strategist than an artist. You know what I'm saying? I think strategy is important, but strategy is better for marketing. You know what I'm saying? Not for being a poet. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just something that I be doing, bro. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well,
I was on Rap Genius when Rap Genius first came out. It was new. This was before anybody even knew what it was. And the guys from Rap Genius reached out to me, and they gave me a verified page and all that. Was dope. But I uploaded a couple rhymes, and I was breaking down the rhymes and shit. Just basically talking about my approach and what I did here, and just basically boastful on the rhymes. I consider myself, if not the best, one of the best wordsmiths ever. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't too many people as naturally skillful and careful as I am with putting the words together like that. And Rap Genius gave me an outlet to kind of like showcase that. But by the time I did about 2 or 3 of them, I found myself giving away my secrets. And they I don't consider them secrets, but I found myself letting people in a little bit too close to the technique. And one thing I do know about artists get quote unquote inspired very easy. You know what I'm saying? You have somebody sounding just like you, doing exactly what you do in no time. You know what I'm saying? So I had to pull back from being so, disclosed on how I do what I do and how I do it. You know what I'm saying? So as far as, I am in pentameters and mixing words and reverse rhyming and all of that, that is something that comes natural. That I try not to really even focus on how and why too much, you know?
No. You know what? Just me being like an outsider, not being in your head. It seems to me that your when you started like putting like more of an emphasis on rhyming that way, it seems to me that it enabled you to switch your flow up a bit more, because when it comes to, just like regular rhyming, and when people rhyme in like the final syllable, they put, they always put like an emphasis on like the final syllable. So I guess it can just hit better when it comes to the rhyming. But with you rhyming the first syllables, you don't got to do that. So you're able to switch up the flow a bit more easier over certain beats.
Right. And it lends up to be more colorful as well. It's not so predictable. It's not so calculated. You don't know what's about to come next. That makes it more colorful, makes it more fun. You know what I'm saying? So it's not so, like I said, predictable. You know what I mean? Not to mention, the English language only has but so many words, right? So if you make as many songs as I made and wrote as many raps as I wrote, it's easy to become bored with this shit. Easy to be like, I already rapped the word book before. You know what I'm saying? I already rapped the word table before. I already used that. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up once again, this ain't nothing calculated and deliberate. This is natural. I just get bored, man. You know what I'm saying? I get bored. I can't come in there and just rap in 4 beat counts and rap, one word at the end. Some cat, some bat, some mat, some rat. Like that. That's it. I rap like that when I was 11, you know what I'm saying? Like, but, man, 100 songs later, 1,000 songs later, this shit is boring, man. You know what I mean? So a lot of the techniques and a lot of the skills you see, that's just me flexing with the English lexicon. Same thing like a Harlem Globetrotter basketball player. He can easily dribble the ball down the court. But he's throwing the ball behind his back and spinning on his finger and trick balling and bouncing on his foot and all that. I'm a trick artist, man. You know what I'm saying? Like a soccer player. Dribble the ball, but I throw the ball up, bounce it on my head, and kick it back. And, you know what I mean? I'm a magician. I'm a wizard, man. So I can't just go from A to B. It ain't that. That's too easy. That's too plain. It's too boring. You know what I'm saying?
Do you write mainly on pen and paper, or do you like write in your phone nowadays?
I haven't wrote a rap on pen and paper in so long, man, that, I really haven't even wrote anything on pen and paper. That's all I'm trying to be honest. Everything is on my phone, man. Everything is on my phone. If you find my phone, you find all my rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Everything's on the phone, man. Everything's on the phone. And what I've been doing lately, I've been I come from a different school, so as being a musician is concerned. When I used to make music, I didn't have access to a studio when I first started, of course, right? So my whole thing was I taught myself to do everything at home. So you go to the studio, you're paying for that, right? So when you come to the studio, I just perform my records and I go home, I leave. You know what I'm saying? Even when I had my shit with affiliates, and I got a studio in my house now, but prior to that, I had a studio, for the affiliates who was doing our thing. I would go in that studio and treat that like it wasn't even my studio. Like, you go in there, niggas be in there smoking weed, drinking, talking, kicking it. It took me a while to get used to being leisure in the studio. I was still coming in there like, y'all ready to go? Let's go. And I knock all my songs out, and then I'll chill. Or I'll leave or something like that. It took me a while to go in there and vibe. People say that now it's vibe in the studio. I never vibed in the studio. That's something I did later in my career. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing was go home, write all the music, memorize it if you can, get familiar with the rhymes, and then go to the studio and perform them. And I'll perform like 6, 7, 8 songs a day. Boom, 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 and then just leave. You know what I'm saying? Or do all that, then kick it. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't used to writing music in the studio. You know what I'm saying? That's a new thing for me, honestly. Sitting down, coming to a studio. When I say new, I mean the last 5, 6 years new. But that's a new thing for me. I come to the studio and they playing the beat. I got to sit there right there on the spot and write a rhyme and make a song. That's something I'll start doing later in the second half of my early part of my career. You know what I'm saying? So now I go to the studio and I do just that. I don't even think no more. I just go in there and say, yo, play the music. Turn it on. And I'll write whatever comes to me at the time. And I'll go in there and I'll put it down. And I might leave and come back and do some more later. You know what I'm saying? Or I might do what I do now and go get some food, come back and do it. I'm more comfortable now than I used to be. I used to be like a machine once upon a time, like a robot. You know what I'm saying? Coming in, just perform, finish the record, and break out. You know what I'm saying? And now I take my time and, you know, flex a little bit more and play with it a little bit more than I did before. So, yeah, new process, you know.
You tend to like release your music when it's cold out, but I think like Never a Dull Moment came out when it was warm, and Deutschmarks came out when it was pretty warm too. But do you mainly only write when it's like during like the warmer periods?
Nah, man. Nah, I'm glad you asked that too. Nah, I write all year round. I record all year round. I make music all the time. I record music all the time. I write all the time. But what it is that I think the type of music I make, and like I said, now, you know, a lot of artists have chimed in on it now and helped us create more of a awareness around this type of music. But once upon a time, the music I was making, I was like one of the only artists making that kind of music to that extent like that, being that brave with the platform I had to make that type of music. So I know the music sounded better when the weather was a certain way. It kind of complemented it more. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about a lot of elements, and even the beats. The beats is way more colder, and they present themselves like that. You know what I'm saying? And either the beats are cold or they're really warm, and that's winter time. You can be outside brick cold, or you can be indoors under the fireplace. You know what I'm saying? With the heat on. Like, the music always sounded like winter to me. Like, The Cure 2 sounds like the winter. The Fly 2 sounds like the winter. Never a Dull Moment sounds like the winter. Deutschmark sounds like the winter. You know what I'm saying? Like, these, like, the projects, they sound like wintry projects. So I was like, yo, put the music out at the time where it's appropriate. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that was. But I'm creating year round. Like, Deutschmark was supposed to come out earlier this year. It's supposed to come out like in January. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So it would have been a wintertime project. You know what I'm saying? But we wanted to get the rollout together for the marketing. That took us a little bit longer, so they're coming out in May. But it was designed for the wintertime. Same thing like Aquamarine. That was designed for the summertime. I wrote that project and I recorded it all in one summer. And then when I did it, I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? I said, nah, I'm going to scrap it and redo it. And when I scrapped it, it was too late. The summertime was closing. And I started writing the new Aquamarine project. And we started shooting this movie, The Fly 2. And I was in Michigan in the winter writing about summertime shit on the boat. And I couldn't get, you know what I mean? Creatively, I couldn't fall into the space. So I had to really be really imaginative and take creative freedoms to imagine myself doing summertime shit while in the winter. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't liking it, so I stopped the whole process on Aquamarine and focused on the album. And I wrote the Somewhere EP really fast just to fill that void because I knew people wanted some music from me. I threw that out. Now, Somewhere sounds like the wintertime. You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. I wrote that in the blizzard. Literally, I was in the crib in the blizzard in Michigan writing that shit while it was storming outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that shit sounds like a wintertime record. You know what I'm saying? I had to return to Aquamarine when it warmed up a bit. I was able to drop that following summer. So yeah, I'm working year round. I just think it's always better to put projects out during the appropriate season. You know what I'm saying? That the project sound like.
Okay, because it's it's good that you explained that, because like I just see like how you get heckled so bad on Twitter if you don't put out something.
Oh my gosh, man, I love it though. Man, I was doing a film. We were doing a fly short film, and mind you, I worked on films before. I wrote films before. It's my first time really bringing one to fruition and really producing it and getting it done. I'm stoked. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the Instagram, on Twitter. I'm talking about it. I'm promoting. I'm bigging. I'm taking pictures. Every time I put some shit up, my people will be like, man, fuck that movie. Where the rap's at? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up, bro? What's up with the album, though? Where the music at? And I'm like, damn, my niggas, I can't expand. Niggas like, nope. You know what I'm saying? Like, where the music at? I'm like, I really appreciate that from everybody, and I love it, man, because minus that, I really could have drifted off into the film world for real, man, never looked back. I'm exaggerating. I'm being a little bit extra, but that's actually true. The people kept me in remembrance that, yo, the music is why we came to see you. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what else I do, I can never leave the music alone. And the people constantly reminding me of that. Even after being gone for over a year, as far as dropping albums is concerned, still through that whole year and change, people always hit me up on Twitter and Instagram and say, yo, bro, where the music at, though? Where the music at, though? You know what I mean? These other businesses is cool. These other creative projects is cool. But where the music at? And that is a constant reminder that no matter what, I gotta always keep the people, you know what I'm saying, keep my connection with the people through these albums.
Right now, throughout like some of your projects, you always you mentioned Ramadan and things like that. So I can't help but wonder, how has Islam defined your artistry?
The more than artistry, just defines my life, man. You know what I'm saying? It keeps me at a point to where I can make these divine references. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's more valuable than anything. Because no matter what's going on in life, and what's going on in my life or the world or my friends and family's lives, I can always refer what's going on to a point of reference. Well, this is happening because of this, right? This can be resolved by doing this, right? This can be looked at like this, because this is how things are. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times people have issues because we don't know where to go or how to feel. Like, you know, life and just business, personal, whatever it may be, love, whatever it may be. Life is all about response, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's all about how you respond to things. We have limitations on what we can create and avoid and cause and what's going to happen. We have limitations on that. But the one thing we got 100% control over is how we respond to things. You know what I'm saying? And Islam helps me by having a reference point to go back to. It's like reading a book. You don't understand a word, you go to the back and look at the glossary. You know what I mean? Look at the definitions. You can say, okay, this means that. This means that. Islam helps me go back and say, this means that. This means this. This is like that. You know what I'm saying? And that keeps my life in order. And that allows me to go and be a productive artist, a productive businessman, a productive, family member or friend or whatever it may be. That helps me to be a better person. So being an artist is part of one of the many hats that I wear. You know what I'm saying? Islam is just the base by which I'm able to be productive and successful and at peace in everything that I do. You know what I'm saying? Even being Muslim, that came from just conversations I had with guys older than me, talking about righteousness, talking about God, talking about all the religions, right? Because we respect all religions. You know what I'm saying? Different conversations about religion and beliefs and knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? And God and family and all these conversations lend themselves to me to study more and learn more about Islam. You know what I'm saying? So traditionally, no, but just my family, definitely just, conversations. You know what I'm saying? Being cultured people, that helped me, learn more.
Now, also when it comes to being cultured, you always, throughout all the your albums and everything like that, your projects, you always mention, some shit about cigars or some kind of like savory libation or whatever like that. So, me being, I'm a cigar and pipe smoker. So, when it comes to smoking cigars, and people tend to smoke cigars and pipes, they tend to have like these reflective moments when it comes to the experiences they have, trying out these different, cigars and everything like that. So, do you like cigars and like, beer tastings, like, does that help you in some kind of way, like with your art and I don't mean that when it comes to, you know, like the nicotine or alcohol or anything. Like, I mean, like when it comes to like just being more reflective and really just like taking the time out and just like, you know, living in the moment, I guess.
I couldn't say I can't say it helps, but I can just say that it's just another thing that I do in real life that finds its way into the art. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not a guy that smokes cigars every day. Like, it ain't nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not only like that. But my old man, my pop, he was into it a little bit more so than I was once upon a time. I kind of took it off and went further than him and got more into it. But it's just something that if we hanging out, we got a house up in the mountains. We got another house on the lake up this way too, and we go hang out and we kick it in the water, kick it up in the mountains and shit, and it was just like an appropriate thing to do. It felt like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're bonding and talking, got family around, or somebody cooking, and you just hanging out. Pretty dope, you know what I mean? It's a cool thing to do. And then I hang out with some guys. My man L, shout out to him. He's a beer journalist and he's really big into beer stuff
L.
like
Sharpton.
that. Yeah, he's really big into that. And then I met some guys hanging out with him that are really, really into cigars. A couple guys own cigar shops and whatnot. And it became more of an educational thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning about libations and beer and cigars. This is like a fucking science. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning about these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and me, I'm definitely a food guy. So the way that plays into, you know, the food and beverage industry, the way that plays into all of that, I'm talking about like flavor profiles and pairings and shit like that, and food just in general. That's a whole culture. That's a whole nother world. And I can't help but to respect it as another art form. You know what I'm saying? So when I get into stuff like that, cigars, beer, food, shit like that, that's just me being an artist once again. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I need any of that to be a creative artist. But does that add to my portfolio as an artist? Yeah, absolutely, 100%, 100%.
I saw on Instagram, like, you know, you puff on Cohiba and Diamond Crown, but like, what's your go-to cigar?
Liga Privada number 9. That's a really, really good one. That's a good one. Gurkha has some good ones. We got the anniversary Gurkha is really dope. You know what I'm saying? I started off. Well, I'm also on Connecticut's, right? I start Maduros all the time. They're really heavy, but I do more Connecticut's now because that way I can really, really, really get into different types. The Maduros will stop your night sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do that and you're done for the night. You know what I'm saying? The Connecticut, I can do that and I can get back to, you know, whatever else I was doing. So, yeah, the Connecticut, the Gurkha anniversary one is pretty dope. The Liga number 9 is dope. Can't go wrong with Monte Cristo. That you can't go wrong with that. Diamond got some dope ones. I got a whole cigar joint in my crib where I keep all the labels for the ones that I really like. A couple of them, I don't even remember the names of them, but there's a few go-tos. You know what I'm saying? That Liga is my favorite, and Liga's a Maduro. But my man Troy Caesar, he put me onto that one. You know what I'm saying? He put it. That's a cigar. To me, I like more the coffee, leathery, earthy type of situations there. You know what I'm saying? Because I like stouts. It's a good pairing for stouts and stuff like that. This cigar sort of changes flavor profiles through the whole cigar. You got to sit there and smoke the whole thing because it starts off kind of chocolatey, and then it gets like, as it gets spicy and it gets hotter, it gets kind of leathery, and then it kind of goes back to chocolate, but it got like a coffee cocoa finish on it toward the end. And it keeps like changing in flavor profiles. You know what I'm saying? It's a really complex cigar. That's one that I would smoke when I'm just really cooling out. You know what I'm saying? That's a really good one. You know, that's a good one there. But then I'm always down to try new ones too. You know what I'm saying? I try new joints too. My man owned a cigar spot. He put me onto these Arturo Fuentes. And that's pretty. Those are pretty dope too. And those are everyday smoke cigars. You can just do those. You on the beach or whatever. You ain't got to. You know, that's cool. You can just do that. You know, walking through the town or some shit, you just chilling, you're on vacation, you can do something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't consider myself a aficionado quite, but you know, I'll partake here and there. You know what I mean?
I mean, like the way you rap about them, shit.
Well, yeah. I don't claim to be. You know what I mean? I don't claim to be the cigar guy, but you know, that's just one thing that I dabble in, especially if I'm chilling. We out of town or we on vacation we up at one of the cribs and shit, then yeah, you know, we got that, you know. We got that for that.
Right. Yeah, like my favorite cigar is probably Brick House. I love Brick House cigars, and this other cigar I haven't tried because I'm mainly a pipe smoker, and like so when it gets warm outside, I you know I'll buy a few cigars here and there, and I just got the Victor Sinclair 55 series, so I'll probably smoke one of those in August around my birthday or whatever like that to chill out real quick.
And I'm thinking that's what they're good for. It's your birthday, you chilling, or something like that. But I don't wake up in the morning and smoke a cigar.
Nah. Yeah.
Nah, I ain't that guy. You know what I'm saying? Nah, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
All right. Now, so now you're doing, you know, like work in the community with the Grand Rapids community and everything like that with your lifestyle brand and Gun Rule USA, along with your partner Jonathan Jelks.
Yeah. It's Grand Rapids USA.
So it's pronounced Grand Rapids, not Gun Rule.
Nah, not Gun Rule USA. It's Grand Rapids USA. Yes, sir.
All right, my bad.
No, ain't.
Can you speak a bit about, you know, what you guys are aiming to do with that line and everything like that? And I know like now you guys are working with like Duce and everything like that. So congrats on that.
Yeah. Yep. My man Jonathan just put some plays together with Duce. Well, GRUSA is basically it's not a clothing line. I'm not a haberdasher. I tell people all the time I'm not a haberdasher. I don't make clothes. You know what I'm saying? I don't got a sewing machine. I don't do none of that. That's not what I do. But Grand Rapids USA is a merchandising line to promote city pride and entrepreneurship and unity for the city I come from. You know what I'm saying? One thing about Grand Rapids, we're the second largest city in the state of Michigan, but we're the most fastest growing and economically advanced city in the entire state. You know what I'm saying? There's probably more money in Grand Rapids than there are anywhere in the state. Man, I ain't probably. There's more economic prowess in that city than any city in the entire state. You know what I'm saying? What's going on up there as far as the economy is concerned, African Americans aren't in the forefront of the economy the way that they should be. And you got people on different sides of the spectrum when it comes to culture, economics, education, tax brackets, XYZ. It's a diverse place to be. For it to be so fast growing and thriving the way it is, it's kind of segregated in its diversity. GRUSA is a tool and a piece that says no matter where we come from in this city, no matter what our economic situation is, our political views are, no matter what we got going on, the one thing we can all agree on as a common denominator is that we love this city. You know what I'm saying? So GRUSA is the tool to bring everybody together. You could be white, black, rich, poor, be a janitor or a doctor or a businessman or whatever it may be. You can say, I could put on this hat or this shirt and represent the pride I have for this town. Until we came along doing that, there was no vehicle to bring us all together that way. And there was definitely no merchandising line that spoke to that. I'll get off the airplane and you will see Detroit shit in the gift shop at the airport. You know what I'm saying? You go out to the community and you see Detroit Tigers hats on everybody in the hood. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that was a real thing. And I'm not saying that because I'm a big Detroit fan as well as Michigan. So I'm not love for Detroit too. But we had nothing for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We got complacent with not having our own. That's why one of the tags we use for GRUSA is support your own. We don't support our own enough. We'll gladly wear a Yankee hat or a Detroit hat or whatever hat, but where's the Grand Rapids hats? You know what I'm saying? Now, we got a minor league baseball team up there, a minor league hockey team up there. We now got a minor league basketball team up there as well, but they don't make merchandising accessible and affordable at a time where people can wear it and feel proud of wearing it. So people still, even with that being said, you still don't see White Caps hats. You don't see Drive hats. You don't see none of that up there. Griffiths hats, you don't see that. And those are the minor league sports teams up there. So GRUSA came to fill the void. You know what I'm saying? Now when you go out, you can wear a Grand Rapids hat and represent where you from. Now, what we did was we made it based in the city, but we have a digital store online, of course, so now you can get it from anywhere in the world. So now you got all these transplants, right? A lot of people, they come from Grand Rapids and then they find their wealth outside of Grand Rapids. So now GRUSA can be, that's why you put the flag on the side of it. Now you can plant your flag with that. If you working down in San Diego, you working down in Atlanta, you got a house out of Florida, you move to Denver, wherever you at in the world, you can now put that hat on and carry the flag for the city outside of the city. And when people from Grand Rapids will tell you, when you from Michigan, and you say, hey, where you from? You say Michigan. They say, oh, Detroit. They just put that on you. They say you from Detroit. You can't be from Grand Rapids, Flint, Lansing, Battle Creek, Saginaw. You gotta be from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like people not from Michigan, they put that Detroit on you. So you're from Michigan, and it makes sense. Detroit's the most popular and famous city, one of the most famous cities in the world. So you know it's famous outside within Michigan. What we did was we provided a way for folks from Grand Rapids to be proud to be from Grand Rapids, and they can represent Grand Rapids in style, taste, and class. And ain't nothing segregated about it. You can be white, black, rich, poor. You can still wear that piece of that hat to represent the town. So it's a unity piece. It's a pride piece, and it's a gesture in entrepreneurship as well. Because I see my friends and my family, they see what we're doing now, and they're impressed by the business, aspect of it. And there's not a lot of black economy in my town right now, so it's good for that as well.
I was looking a bit into the history about Grand Rapids, and I can't think of like the author and like the book off the top of my head, but from what I understood, like the argument that the historian was making was the fact that when it came to race relations in Grand Rapids, it wasn't so much of kind of like the Jim Crow thing. It was more or less what this person deemed as like managerial racism or something like that, where it was more or less focused around businesses and keeping blacks like kind of out of like that business sector, well, economically and everything like that. I can't think of the name of the damn book right now, but yeah, man, that's really dope what you're doing, man.
Yeah. I know one thing that happened, and we, black, white, other, we all take accountability for this. There was a report at the Forbes magazine, or Forbes, the online, the website, Forbes.com. They came out and they said that through research, they found that Grand Rapids is the #1 city in the nation for poor black economy. So blacks are doing the worst economically in Grand Rapids. Now that right there struck as a black eye for all of us, whether you rich, poor, black, white. We didn't like that. Nobody liked that. You know what I mean? From the most white elite to the most black underprivileged, we didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? So what we needed to do immediately was respond to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure how valid that report was, but for us to even come up in that way, we all took initiative to make sure we fight that and make a change. So GRUSA is just another hat thrown in the ring, no pun intended. It's another hat thrown in the ring to fight that, you know what I'm saying, and combat that and try to make a change, in the community up there.
No doubt. So, I guess in closing, you have like a lot of, you have other business ventures. You have GRUSA. You're doing your thing with the movies and everything like that. I think you're going to be in a role. You have a role in a movie called Karma and everything like that.
Yep. I just got a call today for an audition for another film. We're gonna start in July. I gotta do the audition this weekend. That should be pretty dope too. But I'm getting back to that as well. I'm locking in with that. I want to do more writing, but the acting part is fun too, though.
Damn. So, actually, how did you like fall into? Well, I mean, I guess it's not hard to imagine you falling into those kinds of things because you're interested in them and just you moving around the industry. But how did you exactly end up getting calls for auditions and everything like that?
The Fly film. When I did the Fly film, the Fly film, I wrote that film and passed it off to some friends of mine who produced a script out of it. And from the script, I took it to another friend of mine, Scott Erickson, and he helped me produce it. My man Kevin Bazinski directed it, and my man John Burroughs. Both Kevin and John shot my music videos from the past. John shot Wasting Out One Night and Halal Tuna, and Kevin shot Die Free and Goodfellas. You know what I'm saying? So I worked with them with music videos. So they basically were saying, let's shoot some more videos. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, let's do a movie. They said, that sounds good too. So I took the story, I gave it to my man Scott. He brought it to his man Nick. Nick scripted it, and then Scott went back with me and Kevin and John, and we sat down and we developed the film. We produced it. So the Fly Short film was a big thing in the town because, once again, it's this multicultural opportunity bringing everybody together. There's pictures on my Instagram. You look at it. The premiere night, we had 650 people plus in one event to watch that film that night. This is moms, dads, kids, aunts, uncles, young, old, rich, poor, black, white, investors, actors, actresses, athletes, criminals, right? Everybody in the room to watch this film. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I'm so proud of because I brought all walks of life from my town together to celebrate, once again, pride, art, unity, you know what I'm saying, on this tip right here. We was on the news came out, spent some time on the set, we did an audition, they ran the audition thing on the news, it was a big deal, you know what I'm saying, like I really did something positive for the town. So when I did that, I kind of like branded myself as this movie guy, you know what I'm saying. Now mind you, I had experience with movies from college, but I never got a chance to produce anything, so I wasn't just a rookie to the field itself. But that was the moment that I kind of made myself known to be a guy that can do this. The film was dope. The production was out. I mean, the production value was crazy. We had a great time on set. Once again, the premiere was crazy. So now everybody from that community knows that this is what I do. So I'm getting, after that, I was getting calls. Folks called me. You know what I'm saying? You want to write, you want to act, you want to, like, what's up? What's up? And then the good thing about that is I already have this artistic background from the music. So they know I can provide some value as an artist in some capacity. So that really helped me. So the calls I get now, they all stem from that opportunity there.
That's what's up, man. And all right, so in closing, I mean, you have your hands in all these different kinds of pots and everything like that, the movies, GRUSA and everything like that. And I mean, you did like mention this earlier about like the music and everything like that, but do you see yourself, stepping back or having longer breaks rather from the music because of all these opportunities?
It happened to me previously, you know what I'm saying? I like when we did the Fly Short film, I took a break from music for about a year and we put out Somewhere because people started going crazy on me, like, yo, where the music at? And then after the Fly 3, I didn't put a project out for another year and a half, and people once again, I really appreciate this because they could have not said nothing at all, you know what I mean? They wouldn't let me stay away, you know what I'm saying? And now that I wanted to stay away, I just got my hands on so many different things, I'm spreading myself thin, you know what I mean? It's a good thing and it's a bad thing, but my folks, my followers, my fans, my listeners, my supporters, they wouldn't let me stay away. I'm like, yo, where's the music? Where's the music? So Deutschmarks is kind of like me getting back to the foundation, which is the music. I don't intend on being away for a long period of time ever again. You know what I'm saying? I don't. No matter what's going on, I gotta make time to produce these albums and put these albums out, no matter what.
Okay, cool, man. And so the next project that's coming out will be Living Daylights 2. Possibly.
Okay. I got two smaller projects that one is done, the other one's halfway done. My man Brady James, y'all probably don't know who he is, but he works with some producers that's working with God bless them, working with Prodigy, and then working with your old Drew, the rapper up out of New York.
Yeah.
They work with some guys in that lane up there. Brady, I don't think he put nothing out quite yet that you might have heard, but he's an exceptional producer and he's making a lot of good shit that's like right up my alley. I mean, him got a project done. I might just throw that out real quick just to let people hear it. You know what I'm saying? And me and him are gonna keep working in the future as well. I might just throw that out for now, but just to let that rock before Living Daylights 2, because Living Daylights 2 is going to require some more some business and some rollout for that. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to take me at least another month or two. And I don't want to be absent that long. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting on music I can drop right now, so why wait? You know what I'm saying? And then me and my man Sport, he's out of Ohio. He works for LeBron James and the good brothers out of Ohio. He worked with Just Blaze. He's working with Rick Ross, I think, coming up soon. And really, 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 really cool guy, man. He got some beats he sent me as well. We got a project together, so I might throw that out maybe before the Bronx Project. And then after that, I got some other stuff in works. Me and Big Ghost supposed to be getting up to work.
Oh, shit.
And, yeah, and then my man S-Class, Sonny out of Grand Rapids, we did a project on him. We split it down the middle. It was like 7 joints. I'm on like 6 of them. You know what I'm saying? We're going to probably throw that out too and let him get started as well. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, got some joints coming though. You'll hear everything real soon. Real soon.
Cool, man. And where can people find you?
Everything is Willie the Kid. Everything. TheWillie, everything. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat. It's all the Willie the Kid. So check me out there.
All right, cool. Well, there you have it. I mean, clocking in at around 2 hours. So this is going to be really nice in-depth interview. I don't think you've done one of these in-depth, like super in-depth interviews in a while, man. So
yeah, I appreciate you.
Oh, no doubt, man. And so this has been the Channel 10 Podcast. You can check out us at channel10podcast.com. Hit us up on Twitter at Channel 10 Pod. Be sure to check out the Wu-Tang Podcast. The Wu-Tang Podcast is back up. WuTangPodcast.com. Wu-Tang Podcast on Twitter and everything like that. And with all that said, we out. Peace.
Peace.
Feeling this here.
Yeah, son, you feel it, man. What up, son? You gotta just do it, yo. Yo, what up, man? It's a different channel, son. What up, on, man? What up? Watch the channel, son. Different plane now, man.
It's all good.
What up? All good, baby, in every hood, son. What up, yo?
CNN, Network, Channel 10. It's on again. Street niggas is grown men. Bold face, gat in your face. Stay in place, yo, crime lace. Cats more beef than Scarface. CNN, Network, Channel 10. It's on again. Street niggas that's grown men. Bold face, gat in your face. Stay in place, yo.